and let's say your children are not living with you, don't have any source of income, what do? You reverse mortgage your house with the bank. The ownership goes to the bank, but the bank will now start giving you monthly income to take care of your lifestyle. My name is Arpit Arora. I'm India's leading personal finance expert and passive income coach, and I'm on that quest to change the middle class of India and transform their financial life in such a way that they are able to have the potential to follow their passion. They have the focus to follow their passion. They are not distracted by money because they're creating enough passive income, and most importantly, they're able to live with inner peace and joy. And that, my friends, happens by winning the game of money. That happens when you upgrade your financial IQ, and that most importantly happens when you are committed to achieve financial freedom in your life, because it cannot happen without a commitment. And it is my commitment to make sure you get all the support that you need to walk and achieve that destination. There is a concept called reverse mortgage. Has anyone heard about it? Anyone heard about reverse mortgage before? No. So India में ना reverse mortgage का जो concept is mostly unknown even to bankers. But state-run banks do it. I think they do it out of obligation. They have to. Private में आपको, when you speak to private bankers and you ask them मुझे reverse mortgage करना है, and they were like, ये क्या होता है? Because I asked this question to HDFC and Yes Bank and Equitas. All three they don't do it, but SBI does it. And this is something I'm going to use for myself. ये है क्या, I'll tell you. And this is a higher risk method that I'm telling you. So it's not for everyone, और इसके criterias भी हैं. So reverse mortgage क्या होता है? Let's start with that. Mortgage is when you buy a house, but you don't have the money, so you take a loan from the bank and you pay EMIs to the bank. Home loan is a mortgage, right? इनको फॉरेन कंट्रीज में मॉर्गेज बोलते हैं, इंडिया में होम लोन्स बोलते हैं. नाउ रिवर्स मॉर्गेज मींस द एग्जैक्ट ऑपोजिट, अ हाउस दैट आई ओन. सो इसका क्राइटेरिया क्या है? इफ यू हैव अ हाउस दैट यू ओन बाय योरसेल्फ, इट इज अ 20-year-old हाउस, एंड द एप्लीकेंट जिसके नाम पे हाउस है वो 60 ईयर से अबव है. अगर ये क्राइटेरियाज हैं तो यू कैन गिव योर हाउस बैक टू द बैंक. Now why would you want to do that? See, the people who do reverse mortgage are people whose... अच्छा, इससे भी पहले ना आपको एक चीज बताता हूँ, concept economic science that many of us are not aware of. आज से अगर आप 40-50 years पीछे जाओगे ना, तो you will see the average age at the time of independence. The average age of a human in India was somewhere in the region of 50s, average age. That has come into 80s now. So in one of the biggest achievement of medical science in the last 50-60 years is that we've increased the lifespan of a human. अब सुनने में तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन the problem is that most people, the way that they live is, and especially with what is happening in the current economic climate, how people are spending their money in trying to keep up with the society and trying to look rich. A lot of people spend a lot of money and are not able to save enough. And even if they're able to save, they're not able to save correctly. That by the time they get to their 60-65s and now their income have stopped or reduced drastically, the money that they have, I'm talking India level pe, okay? I'm not saying ki people like us, but India level pe what happens is people don't have enough to go by because they're not, now the active income has stopped. They don't have any passive income. The assets that they have, mostly to ghar banana hi asset hota hai logon ka. So they don't have any big assets outside of that. So they don't have any source of income. So they eventually become dependent on their children to take care of. So the parents are dependent on the children. Aajkal, whenever I speak to any families that I consult, especially business owner families, they often say कि अर्पित मुझे एक ऐसा प्रोविजन बना दो कि मैं अपने बच्चों पे डिपेंडेंट ना रहूं इनकम के लिए. And I can understand where they're coming from, because this is a concern. When you're at that age, I can understand that this is a concern. So the product in the banking industry that they have created against it is कि चलो आपने घर अपना बनाया है, and let's say your children are not living with you, don't have any source of income. What do? You reverse mortgage your house with the bank. The bank takes the property, the ownership goes to the bank, but the bank will now start giving you monthly income to take care of your lifestyle. So इसमें benefits क्या हैं? एक बेनिफिट है कि जो भी आपको इनकम आ रही है उस पर कोई टैक्स नहीं लगता. इट्स कंप्लीटली टैक्स फ्री. Even the repair you do in your house is eligible for deduction, tax deduction. The key pointers here is that you can get up to 1 crore rupees worth of you can say money given out to you over a total period of 10 to 15 years. In case, let's say today you have a financial crunch, 5 years later, your financial crunch will be over. So in case you get that money afterwards, you can pay the bank back and there will be no foreclosure charges, which are actually prevalent in home loans. जब आप home loan लेते हो तो foreclosure charges I think 2 से 5% की range में होता है. But in case of reverse mortgage, there is no foreclosure charges. The interest rate they charge is not very high, but not less. It's somewhere in the region of 8% as of now. So this is a provision that a lot of people don't know about. But you must be wondering how is it applicable for us? Or maybe it is applicable for you, for some of you it is not. Like in my case, this strategy, yahan tak it is not applicable. But I'm going to do something very crazy. The master strategy that I'm going to use here is that apart from the house we live in, we have another house. Now this house is a house on which we have a tenant. Okay. What we are going to do now, I'm going to initiate the process next week, is while we're making the 2-3% rental income from the tenant, I'm going to give the ownership of this to the bank. The bank will keep on giving my mother, because ये मेरी mother के नाम पे है property, my bank is going to give my mother a monthly income. Let's say 20,000 rupees, or 30,000 or 50,000, whatever amount. Let's say 50,000. So this 50,000, instead of using it, I am going to do a SIP of this 50,000. I'm going to do this for 10 years. So the only thing I have to ensure is, because I don't have to pay any money back to the bank, the greatest benefit of this is when you take a loan, you have to pay EMI. इस केस में you give in your house, you get an EMI. You don't have to pay anything. And जो आपका due है to the bank, it keeps on mounting up. So instead of letting that mount up, the place where I invest, if it gives me double the return of what this 8% is going to be, if I'm able to make 15-16% return over a 10-year period using my SIPs, making 12% is very easy. 15-16% will be 12 to 15% will be a skill-based judgment. So if I am able to make double the return, let's say, of what I am going to pay the bank, and I have 10 years for it, then at any given point, whenever I feel, or at the end of the tenure of this entire scheme of 10 or 15 years, I will be able to pay the bank back. And on that 1 crore, I will make an extra 8%. So this strategy helps me to utilize my existing asset, helps me to increase my net worth, and gives me the chance of actually creating more money out of the money that I already have. Yes, it is a high risk strategy because I am leveraging a house. In a way, it's a good thing that they've limited it to 1 crore so that it's not a very big financial loss for the people who don't do this right. So the simple objective would be to make a 15% return over the 8% cost, given that you have 10-15 years. If this was 5 years, I would not have done it. If the only reason why I'm considering this is because I have 10 years to do it. So for people who have a similar situation, that they have another house, they cannot sell it, there's already a tenant on it too. you don't want to sell the house, you can still get the benefit of house appreciation. Acha, in this, the appreciation of house is also not accounted for, because when you're going to pay the bank back, you will get the appreciation. So अगर आप वो 8% return से नहीं beat कर पा रहे, तो appreciation से भी कर पाओगे. तो effectively अगर आपने 15% SIP से कमा लिया और 5% extra property से कमा लिया, तो आपने 20% return कमाया at the cost of 8%. So आपने 12% का alpha create किया. So it's a complex strategy, but this is something that I am going to do here on.